Hello, I am Jaime Elizondo from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to help you maximize your productivity while improving your land the fastest. I hope your goal setting went well and you are on your way to reaching your goals. Today, I would like to talk about how to convince your parents who are undecided about the Total Grazing Academy. Listen closely, as this may change the way you think about convincing your parents or partners of something new. In some cases, we need to educate or convince our parents or our partner on something that, while new to them, is working beautifully around the world and just makes sense. And still, even though it makes sense, it does not mean your parents will wholly agree. They may need time to understand, interiorize, then to see results, and finally to embrace anything new. It is in their DNA. There are so many consultants and grazing gurus out there that I would not blame them. And many times the advice from those persons simply does not work or deliver on their promises. This is sad, but it is true. Your parents had devoted their life and efforts to being successful on their farms and should be respected for that. We should try to be part of their effort and success, even though it might be hard at times. First, you need to fully understand what the Total Grazing Academy is. If you only understand parts of it, you will not be able to explain many things to a person that is already wary of something new and suspect. Once you fully understand it, you can go forward and ask to gradually implement the easiest parts first. This will allow your parents or partners to observe how easy and logical this is, how you start saving them money on hay and supplements, and how their pasture starts to increase productivity and fertility as your soil improves. Under the Total Grazing program, we strive for a high harvest efficiency grazing, 80 to 90% harvest efficiency, which is at par with the best hay making harvest efficiency. They may or may not like this, as there have been a lot of people teaching that we need to graze at a low harvest efficiency to improve our soils or to leave a soil armor on the soil surface. Well, you could explain that what holds the soil in place are strong and deep roots of closely spaced forage plants, and that soil aggregates are held by glomalin, which is created by mycorrhiza, but that could be too much. Maybe just explain that strong and deep roots are your goal. Anybody will agree that strong and deep roots of your best forage species are essential for a good productivity. Then you could start by leaving your a paddock to stockpile in the spring. One of those paddocks your herd or flock cannot keep up with. Show them how the soil in that paddock turns spongy after a few months of rest. Take them there and show them if you have more earthworms there than in other paddocks. Explain how the seedlings of your best grasses need time to grow strong enough roots so that returning livestock do not kill them when grazing them too young and pulling them up with the roots. You see, seedling recruitment happens in your paddocks when you are stockpiling a standing hay for next winter or dry season. I am sure they will be able to understand this. Then explain to them why excessive shade kills the growing points of your best forage species and take them out to see it for themselves on grass that has been rotationally grazed for a long time. Get on your knees and part the tall grass to show them how the growing points close to the soil surface are yellow or white from a lack of sunshine. Explain how your livestock must consume your grass down to the ground at least once a year to avoid the growing points being shaded out by the tall grass or excess residual. This shading out of the growing points is what creates a larger interplant spacing, which means a less efficient solar panel. After you are successful in saving them money on hay by utilizing stockpile grass, you will have their attention, and they will start to wonder if there is something good about this total grazing program. Then tell them how your focus is on putting quality grass, leafy grass, not over mature grass, in front of your livestock in the green season, when your goal is maximum animal performance. It is in the green season when you want them to fatten up, to give more milk, to put on body condition, not in the winter or dry season. This part is very important, as many people write that we graze over mature grass year round and nothing could be further from the truth. Then explain to them how the stocking rate determines profits and productivity. Yes, a higher stocking rate means that the total year expenses are distributed over more animal units, and the more animal units you can maintain in good body condition at a low cost per year, the higher your profits will be. Then explain to them how a cow's fertility determines her individual profitability and how this is more important than winning weights or any other consideration. You must tell them that in the Total Grazing Academy, we consider everything we can, and it consists of four pillars: the Total Grazing Program, adapted genetics and selection guidelines, optimal calving season, and nutrition. But do not overwhelm them with information, especially unasked information. Wait until the right moment or when they specifically ask you to tell them the whole academy. The Total Grazing Academy, which includes these four very important aspects of a livestock farm or ranch. And once they start seeing good results, it will become easier for them to allow you to make other necessary changes, which, depending on where they are at, may be subtle or drastic. Always consider them and their emotions. Be respectful and never make them feel inadequate. They are your parents and they deserve your respect. When approached with respect and consideration, even with gratitude, most parents find it easier to allow us to try something different. It is in the wording and our attitude that our success lies. Always start with simple and low-cost moves. For example, if they have year-round calving or winter calving, talk to them about how taking out the worst months of the year, conducing to calving, will make life easier and save on hay and supplements. It may take years to move from year-round calving to an optimal calving season, so take it easy. Do it gradually and always explain the benefits and savings of any change. Tell them how this simple step will allow them to save money and increase their stocking rate, which we know determines profits. On the adapted genetics and selection side, explain how having adapted animals will save them big dollars on drugs, medicine, veterinarian costs, and will allow them to increase their stocking rate, which we know is the main determinant of profitability on a livestock operation. Start with using one good bull of adapted genetics that was selected correctly. Show them the offspring on their farm or ranch, or take them to see them in ranches that are close to them, as seeing is believing. Explain how nutritionally adapted genetics can do more with less. This is easy to explain. Just look at your cattle. In any herd, there will be animals that always maintain a better body condition than the rest. Thus, nutritionally adapted genetics. And explain to them how this type of genetics will enhance grass regrowth by grazing closer to the growing points, with higher harvest efficiency, which enhances the regrowth of leafy pastures without losing body condition. Tell them how, under the Total Grazing Program, we minimize grazing a plant before its full recovery, which we know is overgrazing. Explain how this allows us to produce 5 times more forage per acre than under continuous grazing. Yes, I said 5 times. Once they see that you know what you're talking about, it will increase their confidence in you. Now, prepare to make some mistakes, because no doubt you will make them and they need to be aware of this. Anytime something new is attempted, there will be a learning curve where mistakes will be made. The main advantage of taking the Total Grazing Academy is that you will be able to avoid most of the mistakes by having direct coaching, and then after that you can join the Fat Water Ranchers membership for continued support and learning in depth on more subjects. As you progress in this path of regenerating your land with your livestock, your questions will be different due to your new knowledge and observations. Then you will need them answered correctly to continue your progress in this exciting path. Remember, it is all about the perception of your parents or partners. If they perceive you as calm, making the right decisions, and most of all, achieving success early on, that will increase their confidence in you. You need their confidence from early on, so try to earn it. We know that the way we react to our mistakes is perceived by people close to us. So be calm, expect to be mistaken, and change your approach to get back on track. This will build your character, and character is something that we all need to achieve success in life. Your parents or partners will be observing you more closely when you make mistakes. Remember that the only people who do not commit mistakes are those that never try something new or something great. So go to your parents and ask them about their story, how they started, what were their challenges, what worked and continues to work today, what worked but does not work today, and what needs to be reconciled to move forward. Looking back often creates a vision for the future. Conclusion and recap. Number one, your parents have devoted their lives and efforts to being successful on their farms and should be respected for that. We should try to be part of their efforts and success, even though it may be hard at times. Two, fully understand the Total Grazing Academy before trying to convince your parents of any of its aspects. The Total Grazing Program, Adapted Genetics and Selection Guidelines, Nutrition, and Optimal Calving Season. 3. Then answer their questions and doubts, explaining fully and preferably out in the field to show them what you're talking about. As for many people, seeing is believing. 4. Remember that we are constantly bombarded with wrong information or misinformation given by good-hearted people who do not know the harm they are doing by spreading false or wrong information. Be patient and show them in the field how we manage for strong and deep roots of our best grasses. Explain to them how returning too soon to regraze a plant weakens the roots. Tell them how a light or incomplete grazing means the herd returns faster to regraze a given pasture. 5. Always start with simple and low-cost moves. Harvest the low-lying fruit first and get quick wins at the lowest cost and risk possible, as this will make everyone feel good. 6. Take them to visit farms or ranches where they are implementing the Total Grazing Academy with success. Then they can see for themselves what adapted genetics with selection guidelines cattle look like and their body condition, and this will alleviate their feelings of doubt. 7. Character is of the utmost importance. Your parents will feel secure knowing you have it. Build up your character, which will be noticeable when you make mistakes or have difficulties. Well, I hope you like this podcast. I think it is vitally important to work with our parents or partners in harmony so we can improve our lives faster and with less trouble. Follow us at www.rwranching.com and subscribe to my weekly podcast. We'll see you on the next podcast, and may God bless you.